Hey guys, how's it going? This is Will with a Storytime with Will. It's a little late, do apologize for that. I'm gonna put it out there. If you like what I'm doing, if you like what you see, what you hear, all that different stuff, go ahead and leave me a like, comment, subscribe right here, so that way I can go ahead and continue doing this great stuff. Anyway, so the story that I'm going to tell today is about a game that I love and a game that I enjoy. And I'm also going to talk about the first time I really got into a game called Heroclix. The game is a game with little small miniatures. And the thing about the miniatures is that they're a lot of my favorite heroes from Marvel, DC. When we were first playing it, it was, you had some stuff from indie stuff as well. And the game has grown over the last 15 plus years. Now we're going into year 16. So I want to see how things go. But anyway, I started playing the game back in like 2004. We were in a comic book shop over in Clute, Texas. And there was a guy that came in one day with his daughters. And one of them was about about 8 years old. And the other little girl, I think, was maybe 5, 6. Anyway, so they all played. Well, we came in, kind of watched them, checked it out. I was like, hey, that's cool. That's Superman. That's the Hulk. Wait a minute, Superman and the Hulk, you can't have them on the same team. They're from two different universes. He was like, yeah, you just build based on points. And so, I really got a chance to really, begin looking into the game. Me and a bunch of my friends started looking at the game, checking it out. There was a place right up the street in Houston called Strike Zone that sold singles. So what we did was, I believe somebody went to a con, and then they were at the con. And so then later on, they got introduced to that store. So then they came back and told everybody about it. And so a couple of weeks went by, and I think by then, all of us had gone to Strike Zone at least once. Well, anyway, so we went ahead, started learning how to play, different things like that. The guy that would come in with his kids would come in like every other week or so. And so we'd sit down with them, learn some basics and things like that. And this is before HG Realms, and before there were a lot of Heroclix podcasts out there, like Starting Over podcast, which I've got an exciting announcement about that at the end of this. But anyway, so went ahead and did the different things and learned some different things. Got on as many forums as I could. Started looking up YouTube videos on how to play, different things like that. And I started talking to people about playing. And so learned over the time. It really grew as a player. We started playing local tournaments before we even had an authorized judge. And so as time went on, the store initially, we had a guy who was trying to run the tournaments who would just make up his own rules as they went. And that didn't do us any good because we knew the rules better than he did. But he was there running the store, so of course he wanted to do it his way. Well, eventually we got to the point where we started running our own tournaments. And so then we were able to start learning how to play the game and stuff. Well, fast forward to a few years after that. And so we had been playing in another store. The store we were at closed down, unfortunately. And so we went ahead and started playing at this other store in Lake Jackson, Texas. And so as we were playing, one day this guy who had shown us how to play had come in. And as he came in, he was just like, hey, how are things going? How's your Heroclix going? It's like, okay. He said, yeah, Heroclix has changed so much. You got your feed cards and battlefields and stuff now and everything like that. If you're not sure what a feed card is, go ahead and ask those questions down in the comments below, and I'll be more than happy to explain that to you. But anyway, so he really started going off on a lot of the players that played on a regular basis. And so I just looked at him and challenged him right then. I said, let's build a team of 400 points. No feats, no battlefields. Just play. And so within about 5 minutes, I beat the guy who started teaching me how to play. And really, it was more than just about me. It wasn't really about an ego thing. It was more than that. It was really about defending those who had been playing with me and different things like that. So the thing I learned through the course of it was really about the fact that sometimes when you learn how to do something well, and then other people who may have been a part of that process don't grow with you, sometimes they can get real jealous and real resentful. And he got really upset with us because he felt like we surpassed him at skill level. And because there was a point where we started beating him, and then after that, he really didn't advance anymore, whereas we did. So anyway, so as far as that announcement goes, this week I was part of a podcast for Starting Over podcast, which is a Heroclix podcast. We do an annual Black Heroclix kind of summit every year. We talk about different Black history teams that we would build and things like that. So I'll be on that show, and as soon as I find out when it goes live, I'll go ahead and let you guys know as well. So anyway, guys, as always, thank you for following me and everything. I greatly appreciate it. As always, remember 2 things. 1, I have a story to tell, and I hope that it inspires you to tell yours. And then the second, be blessed and be a blessing to somebody, guys. Take care. Love you. We will see you soon with another story time from Will.